Morning, guys.
How's it going?
Hey, Jack, I got a question for you. I know that they're already pushed behind there with the tournament. How big of a factor is the weather in terms of if you're the third game of the day and the first game doesn't get started and you're looking at a long day and you don't have any idea?
Yeah, I mean, I've just from playing baseball and tournament baseball really my whole life, whether that be in Little League or high school. This isn't the first time that myself or all of my teammates have dealt with something like that. And honestly, I kind of think it's fun because that's when you start to get the games that are like at, 11, 12 o'clock at night, or like, I mean, I've personally even had one at like 1 in the morning. So, and I've heard that they've done that here before and they'll push them back that far. So I think it's fun. I think anytime that, there's stuff like that out of your control, it just makes it all the more entertaining. And it usually, the teams that win the games are usually the teams that handle that the best. And, we got a group of guys that's obviously handles adversity really well and stays pretty resilient regardless of whatever it be.
I know the all SEC teams came out yesterday. Is there any motivation, any frustration about being left off there, and also seeing that y'all won the West and none of your other guys made the first team?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, but I mean, I guess maybe a little bit, but honestly, I'm way more focused on the goals of the team. And I mean, the fact that we won the SEC West this past weekend is really the only thing that's been on my mind personally. And, when those teams came out, I mean, there's, some good players on that list, man. And, I don't think really that takes away from anything that myself or my teammates did throughout the course of this year. And at the end of the day, it's just a list written by, people that didn't see, kind of everything that went on behind the scenes, the hard work or whatever it may be. And, they really don't mean a lot in the grand scheme of things. And at the end of the day, we play this game for a national championship and we don't play it to be on any particular list. So I don't really think that changes anything from a motivational sense. I think, maybe personally, like, you see something like that and you're like, oh, well, but I mean, I'm just really happy for my teammates that were on that list. Those guys are super deserving, not only as baseball players, but, I know those guys as my friends and guys in the clubhouse who have been absolute leaders and just really fun to play with. So.
And then I know from your position, it doesn't necessarily affect you a lot, but have you seen in this season in your career that y'all have used the shift and teams have used shifts more against y'all just generally in college baseball? And from a scouting in the clubhouse standpoint, how much do you see that goes into the different strategies, especially those like mid at bat shifts and everything like that?
Yeah, I think Coach Schloss and Coach Yeski do a great job of reading hitter swings. And I think you're right. I mean, maybe there's something that we didn't see in the scouting report on the guy, whether he likes a certain pitch or is maybe a little out in front on certain pitches, or just kind of how his swing works. And I think, we did a great job of that. It was really evident this past weekend with Ole Miss. I mean, the amount of shifts we played against those guys, they're really good hitters, so you got to find ways to get them out. And, our coaches do a great job of that. And they also, they prepare us for it. They'll talk about it in the scouting reports, like, hey, this guy, we're going to play him here and, we're ready for it. So, I mean, they tell us obviously during the game to go there, but I mean, it's almost in the back of our minds. And Coach Yeski harps on a lot, like, hey, like, you got to be able to think along with the game and you got to be able to know where to play regardless of the situation. Because, I mean, maybe, it gets too loud or whatever, and you kind of got to make those adjustments on your own.
And then from a hitter standpoint, is it kind of like a really when you see that, especially maybe the two strike ones, and is there extra motivation to show that you're a full field hitter? What's that like from the batter's box?
I don't know. I've always kind of thought like, okay, well, thanks for the free hit. Like I don't really hit it to that side that often anyways. So, I mean, it's never really affected me. I think a lot of coaches just kind of play it as a mind game as opposed to a strategy. I don't know, like I've seen teams this year that have done it against me and I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but whatever. But I mean, you kind of just got to do your thing. You can't really let the playing field or where everybody's playing affect you. As we've seen, I mean, as hitters, throughout the course of a career. I mean, I can't tell you how many times you're going to line a ball right out of player, regardless of where they're playing. So you just kind of got to treat it all the same.
Jack, you potentially could face off against South Carolina again if they win this series. Because of it's so fresh in the mind and you've seen their entire rotation and their pitching staff, does that kind of give you a boost of confidence of knowing what the pitchers are going to go and on what type of pitch count they may be going on and what type of formation they might be using in rotation?
Yeah, I think it's a little different, especially in the SEC tournament, because I don't know if we're going to see guys that we saw last time. I think that, we all just finished as a collective league. We all just finished games Saturday, and everybody threw their weekend guys. And so I don't think we're going to see any of those same weekend guys. We might see some guys we saw out of the pen, but I think, guys are, trying to, play for a championship like we all are. And we might see some guys that, we didn't face last time, or, that they might try to do some things that may be a little different. But I mean, it definitely helps. Like if we've seen a guy that, that threw this past time against us, and he comes out and that definitely gives you that extra bit of comfort knowing that you've seen him and just ready to go to work.
Hey, Jack, there are some teams in this tournament and they need to win this thing to get in. You guys most likely are not there. Does your approach change? I know it's all about winning games, but does your approach change that there is a bigger tournament next week and on the horizon versus where you're at now?
Yeah, it's a fair question, but I think I can speak for everybody on our team. Like, we're gunning to win this thing. Anytime there's a championship to be won, we want to win it. And I don't really think that affects anything that we do. I think maybe, we got to get some guys healthy that are kind of a little banged up right now. And I think that plays a factor for sure. But we are playing for a lot right now. I think that, regardless, based off of winning the West, I think that we have a regional host maybe locked up regardless. But at the end of the day, we still want that national seed. Like, we want to play for a lot. We want the championship, just like always. I don't think really anything changes. It's the same game, and you never play to lose or to not lose. You always play to win the game. So.
Thanks and gig 'em.
Thank you.